this is Krista Echoes, and welcome to the first episode of my design show. As of yet, there is no title, so if you have an idea for a show title, then please leave a comment with a suggestion. I greatly appreciate it. Now, I've been told by a few people that they like the way I design, so I thought a Second Life interior design show would be perfect. I am studying interior design in real life, or trying to finish my degree. I work mostly with kitchens and baths, but I do love designing all rooms of a house. Now, on this show, we'll be tackling those burning questions that you have of how do I design on a budget? How do I design around a theme? What stores are good for seasonal decor? How do I place my furniture in the perfect spot? How do I design with a small space? How do I design with a big space? And lastly, what are the best home and garden stores? Each week we'll be tackling these kinds of questions, and I will show you the perfect way to design each way. Also, if you have any issues that you have with designing, I'd love to hear about them as well. So please leave a comment down below, and I'll try to work it into a later episode. Tonight we'll be doing something very simple, how to design a bedroom. Now there are several ways about going about this, but it all starts with the bed. The bed is key, even though us as avatars don't really need sleep. It's still lovely to have a bedroom to go to when we need a little escape. There's also a lot to think about, like color scheme, theme, bed look, whether you want to go with an adult bed or a PG bed. Those kinds of issues but it's easy to figure out once you get the hang of it. Now, one thing with bedrooms is just like in real life, you should never put any technology in the room. No TVs or no computers. It distracts from relaxation. However, sometimes, depending on the house layout, it's not always plausible. For today, we're going to be designing without technology in the room. Tonight we're standing in the room we'll be designing, and the house is from Barnesworth Anubis, and I'll put the name of the house in the description. I thought using a simple house would not be too hard or overwhelming. Now, before we start designing, I always like to place out a box, a simple box, out, just so it just makes it easier to res things. Alright, let's get designing. Now, first we need the bed. Now, I have several beds in my inventory. Most of them are adult beds, most of them are PG beds. So we are going to do a search for beds and see which one we like in the room. I just recently got a new bed from Lisp. It was out for 50 Linen Friday, and I think this might be it. This is not it. But we will see what this one looks like after I try to find the bed that I just got. This one is Lisp New American Bed, and it's the silver line. It's the silver bed. And I might have put that one away. Okay, let's see if it's this bed. It is a 4-poster canopy bed. So if this has a canopy on it, then this one is the one that we're looking for. Yes, it is. No, it's not. This is a very old bed. And just as simply as we brought it out, we can take it away. Oh, looks like we have the same bed twice. This actually might be the bed that I got just recently. So actually, we are going to use this bed. This bed looks very nice in the room. So, as you can see, we have this nice light blue type bed. And we are going to move it to the wall over here. I think it's going to look very nice here. Now, I always like to make sure that everything is on the floor and up against the wall. I feel it gives it more of a realistic aspect to it. I'm just going to move my box over here so it makes it easier to rest things. Now, the other thing that you want to do, let me straighten this out first, is when you are designing a bedroom specifically, is that once you get the bed set, you want to make sure you have a nightstand. Nightstand for either person on either side of the bed. And that makes it so that each person has their own side of the bed. Like, if you have a significant other, then you want to make sure that he has a side of his bed that he can put his glasses, his books, set out his alarm clock, that kind of thing. You know, somewhere that they have their own space. And I don't have any nightstands. So we are going to go searching for a nightstand in my inventory and see what I have. No, I might actually have one that might work. If I can find it. Yes. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff in my inventory, especially when it comes to furniture and houses and beds and that kind of thing. And sometimes it takes me a while to find it all. So this set is actually from Aria and the Loft, but today we're only going to be using the nightstands. I think the nightstands will look very nicely with the set that we have rinsed out. The bed that we have rinsed out. And you can actually go to the Loft and buy the nightstand separately, I believe. Don't quote me on that, so if I'm wrong, please forgive me. Okay, and we're just going to try and delete everything. Alright, now that we have the nightstands, oops, we're going to place them right next to the bed, obviously. Oh, these are going to work very nicely. Alright, and we want to make sure that we turn them around. Just place them. Then turn them around. Turn them around. Then lower it. Now, because these are actually copyable, and I have sometimes have issues with turning things around, we are just going to move this over a little bit, and then we are just going to copy it and move it over to the other side. So now that we have our nightstands placed, now we want to make sure that we have lamps, lamp fixtures. So we are going to search through my inventory, and you can search through your inventory too, and find a lamp that you think is going to work. I think I have a lamp that could work if it shows up. I don't know what this is. We're going to see what this one is. And a lot of lamps that you will find have this cord, so that makes it look like it's actually in the wall. I don't think this is gonna work, so we're just gonna res that back, put that back. I don't know why I don't have that in my inventory. Anyways, let's see what next has some table lamps. Ooh, I think we can use this one. Lamp cord and plug. So let's use the white trim one, just because we have a white bed. Okay, that's a pink shade. It's not exactly what we wanted. So we are going to go with a different lamp, maybe the dark trim one. And because we want to match the bedspread. That could work. Yes, that could definitely work. That right over there. And once again we're going to basically copy and paste. Now with some design work you can actually do asymmetrical, which is placing, say you place the lamp on one side of the nightstand but you don't place it on the other side. That's what asymmetry is. I prefer to go more with symmetrical, so I like having the same thing on both sides. And let's just put this out, just because, you know, if this was actually reality, we'd want to move this lamp forward. That way we can actually reach them. So when we're tired, we don't want to reach. And I know a lot of people don't like to say this, but it's okay to have some negative space as long as it's not excessive amount. When you have like an excessive amount of negative space, it does get a little bit empty. But some people like that way of designing. Let's see, now it actually looks like our lamp is plugged in. And we're going to copy and paste it one more time. That way we can move it over to this side. And we're not in danger of trying to figure out how to move it perfectly into position. Now, some people like to add little things to their nightstand, like books, maybe a radio, a alarm clock. So we are going to put an alarm clock, and because I have problems getting up in the morning, I will put it on the woman's side. And let's see here. We have a lot. I have alarm clocks. I gotta find them first. Here we go. So because we're going with kind of a neutral color palette, I think the vintage alarm clock would be perfect. So we are just gonna move that there. And I like to angle the alarm clock so it feels like it's looking more towards at me if I were to be sitting on the bed. Move this right up. Move it close to the lamp. And then for the guy's side, a lot of guys like to read the newspaper in the morning, so we are gonna put a newspaper out. The newspaper that I have is from Applefall, so we'll see if we can find it. Ah, here it is, crumpled newspaper. And we gotta fix this. It's not flat. And there we are. Now, because I am a book nerd, I am also going to set out some books. Because why wouldn't I want books on my nightstand? So I have the perfect thing if I can find it. It is by Lisp. It is a bookends, and I believe it says nerd, because I'm a nerd. Let's see here, Charlie. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff. Lisp is a very good store to go to. They have a lot of stuff that's perfect for houses. Oh, here it is. Oh, I'm gonna go with this one. I like that. Now, sometimes you're going to find that you're not able to fit it on the nightstand, so you may have to resize it. Which is okay, because sometimes when you resize things, it lowers the perm count. So this is not going to fit like that, so we are going to have to resize it so it fits. And then we are going to move this over, and we're going to actually angle this. We're going to move our alarm clock. There. Actually, I think we can move this up a little more, and then we might be able to resize it. Like that. That looks perfect. Now, as you can see, we have a little bit of negative space on either side where this wall is and this wall is. That'd be perfect for any pictures you want to put, or if you want to put some plants. So we are going to do a plant search. House plants 273. I think I already unpacked that, but we shall see once it comes up. What next has made a whole bunch of new plants. No, I did not unpack that. And they've made plants for Collaborate for this month. I'm just waiting for those to pop up. Well, looks like I did unpack those. Yes, right here. So, see, as you can see here, there's like lots of plants that you can, the prickly pear cactus, the succulent planter, and the tall cactus. Today we're only going to be using the house plants. So once those decide they want to resin, we will put them out. So I'm actually just going to use just the rubber tree, and then maybe later use one of the other plants should they be able to resin. And you can add that to the corner over here. If you want, you can add more than just one plant. Now, in school, I was told never to put plants in a room as like an afterthought because it's not supposed to look nice. But I don't know, I like it. So we are going to go with natural 1 and natural 2 for the planters. Only because we are going with such a neutral color palette. Natural 2. And I say we put out the eucalyptus plant. Need to give it a little extra oomph. Move that a little bit over to where the rubber tree is. And make sure that it's not in the rubber tree, like what I just did. And we'll probably use a blue pattern. I think they have a blue pattern for this, which would go very nicely. Yes, a blue and blue too. Oh, I applied it to the wrong planter. And a blue too. So there we have it. So there we have this side of the room. Now, a lot of people want to know what can I do with a wall with a window. Well, that's easy. You can put curtains. So we're going to put some curtains up. But not these. Actually, I have some drapes that would look perfect in here. If I can find them. Oh, I gotta go searching for them. It's not good, not good at all. Okay. They're called drapes. That I can't find. Oh, here they are. gonna buy what next too? You want to make sure that they're up against the window. Or you may have this problem where they're not long enough, so you'll have to stretch them as well. Okay. Sometimes you gotta stretch them on both sides. And then you can just like lower them down and shrink them a little bit. You know what the problem is? Is that there is an angle right here. So that does actually cause a problem when you're designing with specific houses. Just like in real life. I personally never really tried to go with a angled house, only for that reason. So not that I don't like this house, I just wouldn't use it all the time because of the angled parts. I'm actually going to change the color of the drapes because I feel that it needs to stay in theme with the blue pattern of the bedspread. Okay. Actually, I'm going to change that rod on the other one. So I'm going to do iron for the rod. Okay, now we're going to change this one. And then we're going to change it to French blue. So, next, we want to figure out what we want to put in the middle of the window. Oops, that actually looked better the other way. So, people will put chairs, a bookcase, anything that they can figure out would look nice. We are going to be placing, I think a bookcase would work nicely. And who could say no to a bookcase? So there we have it. I'm going to change the color of the decor because I feel it doesn't really work well, the color and the finish. So I think for the finish we'll go with just a simple wood. And then for the frames, go with 2. Or it's on 2. Go with 1 and see how that works. I think this room is coming along very nicely. Got a good color palette going. There we go. I think those work. Yeah, that works perfectly. So now that we've done this side of the room, now we have this side of the room to figure out what we want to do. And I think we're going to continue with the whole book theme. Because who doesn't love books? And we'll put 2 chairs over here. That way it gives it like a little nook, reading nook. You know what? I just found that bed that I was looking for earlier. Isn't that how it goes? We'll see how this chair looks in the room. I have it in two colors. I have it in that and the silver. I think the silver might be the winner here. Sorry, leather. So we're just gonna move that right over here. And then gonna move this down. I think that looks really nice. We'll add some pictures here. Okay. Now we need a table because anytime you have somewhere you sit, you always want to have somewhere that you can place a drink. So we are going to find a table to put with this chair. Alright, let's find a table. Table, table, table. We are searching for a table. Table setting? No, we don't want table setting. Island furniture. No, we don't. We don't want that. This one. Maybe we don't want this one. I think this is a very old end table that I have. Yes, it is. You don't want that one. Let's see what this one is. That is actually the one that I was looking for. Okay, so we are gonna place this on the floor like I like to do. Move it right up against the wall. And we're gonna move the chair over a little bit. And then here we go. And because I think books would be too much on this little table, I did just find a newspaper with a coffee. Because who doesn't love coffee with their newspaper? So, ugh, if my inventory would stop being mean. We'll go back to our list. Furniture. I'm gonna look for it. Here we go. So we are gonna go with this one, only because of our color palette. There we have it. So now because that wall is very bare, we're gonna put something on it. And I think I have the perfect thing for it. This is not what I wanted to put on it, but it actually might work. And I like to do what I like to do with my furniture. to make sure that my prints are on the wall. So we will use these two. So it'll be a very masculine bedroom. Which I'm sure any guy would be appreciative of. There we go. I'm starting to really like this room. Now, with this wall, we'll kind of make it the girl area, the woman's area, if you will. And I have the perfect item for this. I have a Isabella vanity. So we will stick that over there. And you'll find with some furniture stores they do a lot of linked items. So you always want to go into edit first. That way you can place things before you go out of edit. But if you don't like where you placed the item, then you have to go back in and edit everything separately, and you don't want that. Okay. We're gonna make sure that we center the vanity on the wall. And I like the placement of that. So now we're actually going to fix this so that it looks like how we want. I'm gonna go with the oak on that, and with the oak, and now with the finishes, we'll just match it to the rest of the room. See if the Paris one will work. I think the Paris one will work with this. Yeah, I'm starting to like the room. Now, as you can see, we have more negative space, but that is not going to last long because I have the perfect thing that would go great on the wall next to the vanity. It's by Lark, and I love having this out because it's so pretty and it's so cute. Is the hook with the nightgown on it. You know, because at the end of the day, or at the start of the day rather, you want to have somewhere that you can stick your nightgown on. And because I'm a short person in real life as well, I have to lower this. So the rule of thumb with like something like this, you can have it, so obviously you can have it so it's not on the floor so that it makes it more realistic, as if you were just, you know, walking up to it, take it off. I think we can actually erase this just a smidge. There we go. That looks good over here. Now we need something on the other side. And because I am obsessed with Paris, all things Paris, I have an Eiffel Tower marquee that I'm going to set out. Square that off. Just a little bit. there we have it. A nice little lovely area for the woman of the house to have. I feel like we need more pictures. And like in my home tour video, What Next has picture shelves that are just so amazing. Unfortunately, none of these are gonna work. We are gonna have to go with Plan B, which I have picture old vintage picture posters from floor plan that will work. I could also do the postcard collection, but for this one we are going with a poster. Awesome found print, no. I believe I lost it. Okay. Oh, here it is. Vintage travel poster. Because we have a bit of a Paris thing going on, we'll put it on Paris. And you can place it here, you can place it over here. I like to put it on the same wall as the vanity with the marquee. So we're just going to move that over there. Oh, and that is a picture of Venice. I've actually been to Venice. It's such a lovely city. We'll see if that's the one that I want. That is not the one that I want. I keep forgetting it's always Paris one that I want. So there we are. Now we have this area over here. And because there's not a lot of room in here, we're going to put a dresser. I have the Amelia dressers, which is so pretty. Amelia Armoire. Maybe it's the Armoires. Oh no, here it is. I want to go with a large chest of drawers. There, so you have your own chest of drawers here. Then you want to move it to the wall. And also, I think I'm going to add the Amelia wardrobe, because if you have just a chest of drawers, which is fine, you can have that, but you have a lot of things that need to be hung up, then you want to go with the Amelia Armoire too. Unfortunately, with this, we're going to be using the linen armoire. So you also want to have a linen closet too, all your linens. And you know, actually, I think I'm going to move this one over to the other side. That gives it a nice area to put it in, just so you know, if you have so you can, you know, get up, get a new blanket, And these come with, well, at least this one comes with a HUD that you can change the finish and everything. Did not get that very far out. We're gonna add the tall Amelia chest the first two. But we're gonna make it all that one. And blue decor. Oh, that was not the one that I wanted, but that's okay. This one you can open the doors. This is just fun. I think we want that one. So actually, we're gonna have to change the color of the decor so that it matches with everything else that we have. I do apologize for this. Yes, I believe that's the one that we want. And then we want to come over here and change this also to wood. That matches with everything else. And we want the tall. There we go. So we have a tall and short one, which is nice to have as well. And I try not to be so matchy-matchy, but sometimes it just kind of happens that way. Okay. Make sure to change the wood on this. Finish. Wood. Go. And because we have a lot of space up above the two dressers, I'm going to add a mural that I have that I think you guys saw earlier when I was looking for something else. Yes, we have this poster mural of adventure. I think will go nicely. So this is somebody who likes to travel and that likes books. Likes little woodland creatures. There we go. That looks very nice up there. And then we have a wanderlust. Oh, here it's lost and found. Lost and found painting. We can add 2 to this. That's backwards. Just a lot of paintings. A lot of pictures. Alright. Now the only thing that we have left to do is add a rug. I think a rug would just tie in the whole room together. Just place it right here in the middle of the room. And I'm gonna go and use my What Next rugs because she has some very nice rugs. will say this while I'm looking for a rug. Be patient. Nothing is going to come together right away. It takes time to figure out how you want to go about things or how you want to design. This might be the rug that I was looking for. Alrighty. Of course, we are going to stretch this rug so that it works all over. And there you have it. The other thing too, if you're going to have a rug and you want to put it under furniture, make sure that all the legs of the furniture are on the rug. Like, don't have it like right here because that just does not look right with the bed. So if you do that, I'm going to make sure that it goes here. And then because of the plants and the nightstand, I'm going to make sure that you carefully make sure all the nightstand legs are in. Actually, that looks pretty good. Ta-da! And here is the room that we designed tonight. I think we did a pretty good job. I'm just going to close my folders. I think this is a very nice room that we designed tonight. Got a very natural look. A little masculine, a little feminine, which is what we want. We have our nice bed, all of our pictures here. And I know we have some negative space there, and I just saw something that would work perfectly right there. So we're just going to add that too. Where did I see that? So I have these great ladder frames by What Next, and it has ones with pictures in them and ones without pictures in them. So for right now, we're going to use the ones with pictures in them. And I don't think any of these are going to work. So I bought both of them. So we are going to see which one would work better in here. And I might have to shrink the frame, the ladder, because I don't think it's going to fit in the area that we're going to put it in. That's too nautical, but that will work on when I do the theme room. When I do a theme room. Adventure waits. You know what? I think we're gonna go with this one. So we can just get rid of these. Move this down. Well, maybe I won't have to do too much to it. I really like these ladder shelves only because these ladder frames only because it reminds me of something in real life from a real life store. Actually, I think that really works. See, so we have a room that's not too cluttered. It looks just right, as you can tell. I feel like we're missing something. We have all these pictures here and we have none on the other side. So what should we put on the other side? Hmm. Well, I cannot figure that out. Normally I can, but tonight I just cannot think of what to put there. So this is what I'm talking about giving it time to figure out what you want to do. We're just going to clean up this box. So here is the room that we designed. And of course you don't have to design it just the way that I do. But this is how I would design this room. And I think I did a pretty good job. If you like the room, then give it a thumbs up and comment with anything that you have an issue with or anything that you want to address in any of these episodes, any theme episodes that you want to tackle, and I will get on it in a later episode. So this has been Krista Echoes in her first design episode, and I hope to see you all soon. Good night.